Alright. Let's go talk to Minfilia and continue the main quest. Good intentions. Minfilia is considered which of her many responsibilities demands her utmost attention. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the fan. I don't know if you can hear my fan, but... yeah, it's pretty hot, so I have a big fan running in the background. I am most eager to address the Ashen Shred, however, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. Okay. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Oh, someone's coming in. Lest you forget, Antecedents, the Scions need more shoulder to burden alone. We're not the Crystal Braves, established for this very reason. True, we are presented with a multitude of problems, however, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Pedus, in particular, is the ever-steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ulda? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice to say, Taligi Alideleji and his Monetaris ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn this situation to their advantage. A couple of ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Roban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support we can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so far, for the foreseeable future, I think it should be for the best if I were to remain on Ulda, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Warren Brida's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though. I am not familiar with the details. Ringe is poring over his tomes at Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. While we focus on our task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his braves of theirs. It would do so much to restore faith in the Emerald Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend before my departure, such as receiving Rael's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information, others wish kept secret. Hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Elden riots. When you are finished here, join me outside, depending on what he has to say. May soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Alright, Alki, he's right over there. Pleasure as always, Patios. You'll be escorting the commander to Ulda, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for her. If you'd be so kind to repeat your report for her benefit. Right then. Me and mine be making inquiries into the source of the weapons what found their ways into refugees' hands a way back. So happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near a high bridge. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting, clients that for whatever reasons would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Bring to mind that merchant was that merchant would caught an arrow while talking to Pedros on it. Generous fellow he was doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden, disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have some mischief in mind, but ye want to be sure might be prudent for the collector goods. Yeah, makes sense. Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What you say? Okay, we can do that. And it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Earlbird at Highbridge and interfere with this exchange. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ulda. Expect good tidings. Alright, so it's over there. Let's go. Hello, Brad. I bet as my scouts have been keeping a close eye on the black marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard. No consequence, but nevertheless pose a threat. If so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath your standing, and Commander Leviard needed to have dispatched you hither. But powerful men have need for loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, it's only natural that he would come to rely on you. Okay. Update and switch. Oh, it's right here at the High Bridge. Bird is eager to bring the black marketeer and his clients to justice. Now then, you should make for a burning wall without delay and secure weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. Are you coming with me? Okay. Over there, okay. I forgot I put that there now. I'm gonna have to get used to it. It's right on the other side of this waterfall, right? Right here? Wait, oh, wait, what? It's right here, right? Wait, isn't it in a cave? Is it true like that? Wait, how the heck did you get there? Oh, there's the cave. Okay. It's well hidden, that's for sure. It's connected to here, and then goes right here. Spy the man, but there's sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my man and I will slip past and catch the black marketeer. Alright, let's go. Once you've disposed of the togs, wait for me outside of the tunnel entrance. Any questions? And let us be off. Good luck, my friend. Alright, Elbird. Elbird is pretty awesome. Polar bear. Oh, Jude, that's a magic carpet you got there. That's pretty sick. Let's go down there. Where the heck? Right. Hard tug. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damned you fool. You should have never come here. Oh, you wanna fight me? Easy enough. Alright, now I'll go back to Albert at the tunnel. Just hop off over there. Bring you over here, wait for Albert. I don't understand. What's this deal about? As you see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out, but before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates banged it, and this is the result. Oh yeah, he'll be most disappointed. Oh wow, so his recruit killed him. Shit. Golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how they slipped past our perimeter at present. The first is currently tracking a prey of Duskwhite sellswords. We suspect it may be them. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. We'll join the first in their hunt for Duskwhite sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ul'dah instead, and trust them to the Turds Yuyahase. He will take care of the rest. Alright, trust them to Yuyahase. Confiscated weapons to Ul'dah. Let's go. Oh, where have I? I never realized you couldn't work. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance and courtiers. Now, what praise you to me to you this day? Here are the confiscated weapons. A gift of weapons from a certain black market, courtesy of Captain Over, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Rael stated that with confidence that there will be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood, clearly. Rael is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dah merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful for that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything worth it at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those garlands up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch and not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to cereal processing plant. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, alien. We'll free you them of all. Excellent work, as always. My friends, rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear your contribution until we meet again. Bye-bye, you have your say. Oh, and there's a Ryle. A word if it pleases me. Not here to look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Okay, he wants a word with me in private. Okay. And that's over there at the market. Alright. Where the heck did these guys come from? There we go, alright? What's up? Move on my way, thank you. Thanks for indulging my request. A few places better than the market for privacy, and may all the hustle and bustle. No commerce means most conversation go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the burning wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything, leave me no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskwights they were chasing, the latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself, not before the fighting started, and not after. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not deaf enough to be missed by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered the money in the lender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. There's plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurance that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on me to mind these days. I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, best get back to it. Is Ilbert in on it? Ladies, can you hear me? This is Tattoo. Your presence actually requested a rising stone. Please come and see me as soon as you're able. Alright, fair enough. Alright, let's go to the rising stones. Thank you for coming quickly, Petios. We have guests from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most determined lady by all indications. Okay. Talk back to her. Joe seems eager to escort you to the scholar. So, our guest is with the antecedent in the present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Alright. Who's our guest? Oh, Lucia.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragon Star burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silver-Tier Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragon Star is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragon Star portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard Soma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Soma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Yeah, sure. I can do this.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
So the Dravanians are trying to summon a dragon? Forgive me if I state aught, which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. Yes. As Ranjay stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is direct wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his camping to subject Gorza, Gaius van Balsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But a non-lucky ally came to Yarza's aid that day, Midgard Sorm, legendary guardian of Silver-Tier Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silver-Tier Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's Cerulean engines failed and tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosions which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silver-Tier Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing Aether of malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and its at its center a constant reminder of that fateful day. In accordance with Sir Emric's wishes, our Dolan allies have been standing over the Keeper of the Lake, and it would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own task. There is much to be done, and precious little time to do it. Okay, it's just outside. Alright. Not too far. Oh, is that the lake? Is this giant lake here the lake that they're talking about? Okay. Where's the domain? That's probably the lake though. Can I just fly through the wreckage? Or is that going to be an invisible wall? Oh, yeah, there's an invisible wall, but that's where I have to go, right? Okay, let's talk to them. Let's talk to the Dome and Watch. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to the Revenant's Toll about the Guardians. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Cactuar's Sanctuary, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. Cactuar's supply lines have been cut for a short time, and I wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then, the Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but its assurance do you want? You've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creature which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Guardians who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of Agrius, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. The Keeper of the Lake now accessible. Alright, so this is gonna be a raid, right? Alright. Well, a dungeon raid. Duty finder, entrance. Let's go. Keeper of the Lake. Join. Commence. That was quick. That was a quick join. Are you there? Are you joining? Oh, this is a cool place. So that's Midgard Storm. Mordona, Keeper of the Lake. This is a pretty cool place. this guy doing? Just stand there. Oh, he disconnected this one? This place is pretty cool. Oh, big giant toad. Oh shit. Dodge. Shit, okay, this is gonna be pretty cool. Reach on head. Magic Head Friendship. It's like a, it looks like a head. What, it's targeting me? What was this supposed to be? Maybe he was running towards me.
lieth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
Dragon with that much shit. Oh, I did not know what happened to here. Not that. I did not know where I had to go. I was like, where the heck do I have to go now? We're in the hideaway, that's for sure. I didn't know there was going to be a barrier there. He's 50%. It's possible they might survive, or probably not. Do it again. This time I know what I have to dodge. I know that when it's the gigantic AoE, there's going to be a barrier in the center. And you have to use that big barrier. of AoEs in this fight. This fight so far is basically just AoEs and some ads. There you go. This dragon was pretty fun. I like bosses like this where it's mainly just dodging his attacks. They're pretty fun to do. No cheap mechanics, just a whole bunch of AoEs. Those are fun to do when there's no cheap mechanics and just a whole bunch of AoEs.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen.
Okay, what language do you want me to speak, though? Nihongo? Français? English? Like, what language? You didn't tell me in which language you wanted me to speak, Midgar Storm.
Guided by a star.
Oh, okay.
My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. 7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
Wait, is he killing me? He's killing me, isn't he? Wait, what? What is happening? He just shot a giant laser at me. He just shot a big laser at me. Oh shit, my crystals! Is he taking back my crystals' power? Is he absorbing the crystals? He's absorbing the crystals. Oh no. All the crystals I obtained throughout my journey. He's taking my echo. Is that what he's doing? No, my crystals. All the crystals I obtained throughout this journey, they've all been drained of Aether.
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing. Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more. The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and when it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
You may summon Midgard's Storm by selecting a corresponding entry. Oh! I can summon him? Wait. Minion. Oh, right here. Midgard. Summon Midgard, not the big one, the little one. Oh, it's the tiny Midgard. Oh, there he is. Oh, he follows me around. Okay. Doman, what's up? Were those explosions I saw? Yeah, there's lots of explosions. Oh, but you shouldn't waste time with me. Elfina left a message stating that you were to return to Rising Stone at once. Alright, so there we go. Now go back to Rising Stones again. Defeat a big giant dead dragon. Like the ghost of a dragon? Was that like the dragon is dead, right? Was that like his ghost or something? That was kind of weird. And he like absorbed my crystals? Like what? Verse 12. At your hill and hole. I came as soon as Minfilla informed me of Sir Emmerich's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it. Then I would hear your report. You converse with Midgardsorm, I swear. Were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the Worm Lord did not perish and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years? Unless the resurrection more regeneration, for he who dwelleth in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, our statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgardsorm in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as such. For your own protection, and for the sake of our tenacious relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emmerich's emissary, you may leave that to me, for we remain here for now. Is there something you are not telling us? You seem different somehow. It's almost as if you are missing something important. 12-4 Midgardsorm stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unarmed. It beggars my belief that any blessing could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsorm made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silver Tear Falls states that when the waters came to existence, so too did the Great Worm. I'll take Anemia, Brother Time, and Sister Fate, decreed that Midgardsorm ever watch over the source from which all water magic was said to flow. I wonder if this was the covenant of which he spoke. It was not the gods with whom he treated, but Hydaelyn herself? Well, if he is watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask? Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. And there's Midgardsorm. Art thou a pawn, or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? There he is. He's stalking me. I knew it.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Worm Lord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Ishgard has suffered ward to the Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, none once have their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Megor Sarm who wrote, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance and pray that our fears are unfounded. Alfino's message from Morbrina for the Scions. I believe Morbrina has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has some progress concerning the efforts of combat the Ashes. Inform her of your business with the Ishgardians is concluded. Alright. Over here? All done for your talk? Wonderful, because Ashes are next on the menu. Let's head into the solar, shall we? Let's check what's on the menu. What's on the menu? Any burgers? No, no burgers. I would like some fries with that. Burger. And maybe some ketchup. Yeah, a little bit of ketchup. Maybe some mustard. Right? Is that what's on the menu? Is that how that works? Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. I'm probably overthinking it. I hope not. Oh wait, that was the wrong place. Oh crap, I have to go back in. Alright, let's advance.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the...
We know that already. We know that already. Now we're just reviewing, right? Take notes, everyone.
Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land. If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona. Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? Aye, I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an Etheric Siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arsians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalimo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
I'm gonna speak with Alphino. It would seem that events have once more comprised the Rambas of the rest of recuperation. Though I would wish it was otherwise. I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The 4th have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. We will be brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Elbert at our headquarters in Ulda. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go support the front lines. Okay. Your duties take you to the northern town line, yes. We too must say our farewells to Riding Stones for a time. Falman travels to Ulda, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by promos and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scions. Our past events have taught us anything, then we know that Yorza must present a united front, or we shall fall. Ah, how extraordinary my little Ascilla is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I'm proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as her mother, but also as a colleague. Colleague with influential connections, but I fear Ulda has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah, woe betide the blackguard that so much glares in your direction, my lady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall be on our way then. You guys are gonna protect mommy? Okay. I'll speak to Wilfred at Tanalan. Alright, let's go. For Wilred. Under the Veda sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your town is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster of the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Robon's Push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garlands could begin marching on us any time. We speak of Lieutenant Edelstein. We might coordinate our counter. Alright. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt you will be a welcome tidings. Soldiers yet tells of your deeds during Operation Archon. Alright, yeah, I can do all that. I had sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes can be powerful explosive device of the Imperial design. By my order, the Flame Station here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news on the latest developments of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid. Okay, quest complete. Move on the mighty you Midgard zone. Lieutenant Edelstein wishes to share a report. I'm keeping an eye on the Garland garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squad seems leaving the Cactuars are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have of course also shared this report with Cactuar so brave. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault as out on. I have apprised your fellow Scion of this such, and I'm heartened to know that they will be joining our effort. Report to Lieutenant Alliance. Yes. Speak with Allian. Glad to have you with us. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garlands have developed a small force from Castra Meridian. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalmon's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. We wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Elbert. Greetings, Scions. I understand the commander bids you and fellows come lend a hand to braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with what the Garlands might throw at them. Fill any holes in plants, defenses, and their numbers to your counterattack. Reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own force and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. It would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garlands. A wise course, indeed. I shudder to think the consequences should any of these soldiers' tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objectives, the Science shall join the Fourth and give battle to the main column. With the Third, then Warrior Light, your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuhase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves. Speak with Yuhase, you're just over there, right? Too far from here. Just outside of here. Right here. Pleasure to be fighting at your side. Our operations only succeed when you're around, and victories are want to pave the road to greater point. Now this detached force we've seen to eliminate has split into smaller squads. The better you conceal themselves, yeah, makes sense. And seeing as your army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own area. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Yes. Be the Imperial squad. Right over there to the west. Alright, let's go. Squad over there. It's not too far, it's just over here. I'm gonna push them back. On the other side of this rock. Wait, I think it's better if I fly, right? Right here. Surprise attack. Let's go. We see Grim, Sire. I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I ever had to tussle with another of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the Fourth and let the Lieutenant Alien know the west is now clear. I would appreciate if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. News of Garlean. The grading parties are no more than excellent. Knowledge engineers, I do not endure will most likely relieve. Here the planet is no longer in danger. Perfect. Lieutenant Wilson appears concerned for the Morgrun's well-being and more Brina. Must be action for rid of your fellows. The report is on victory over the main column. Alright. Scions have already turned their attention to the other duties. All but that one, the working lady Arjax, it appears she has chosen to remain at the site of battle. I don't know what that task keep her from returning to salvation, but knowing her talent is no place to wander alone. Alright, we'll go check up on her. Blue fog, huh? Delaman's Talon. Around here, right? Yeah, right there.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
An Ascian. Are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work. Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
Wait, what staff?
What did that bastard want with us? Nobrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious.
Makes sense.
But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Oh shit, you have to go back there already? You have to hurry up. We have to hurry up. You have to hurry up before he teleports there. You have to teleport there before him. You're here. Strusa staff is kept in the soldiers, not quickly now. Oh shit, it was taken.
You two!
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
No. Holy
Moonbreeder!
shit. Oh shit.
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff,
I will take you too.
Oh, you're kidnapping her? Are you kidding me? Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating. That's just cheating. Kingdom Hearts, dude. Are you with Organization 13 or something? He's like literally has to be like a member of Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts. That's all it is.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Alright, let's go. The crystal is now accessible. So it's another raid, eh? A new duty, alright. That's the entrance. Let's go. Chrysalis. Alright, let's do this. I need to clear one selection. Chrysalis join. Alright, I'm just gonna wait for a party and let's go. I'm here to save you, Minfilia. I'll save you. Hey, can you stop your creepy smile? You're pretty creepy. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up. I'll see. Shit, what is that? What? Oh shit, the eye is not through here. Do we have to touch him? Oh, we have the next tank. Oh. There we go. resistant here. Pretty easy, honestly, unless there's a mechanic at the end of the game for the match. Okay, unless he pulls off a new attack or something. This let's just repeat the same thing over and over. Come on, the dragon was harder than you. Okay, that's move. I didn't have that before. That's a new move. Okay, he does that again. How many times does he do that big move? Okay, that's me. Do not do that. What is this? Shit. That would be some absorbing that stuff. Let's see, what is he doing now? What's happening now? Can you teleport it again? Goes into the cup. And go through again. And we just gotta finish him off. Finish him off, idiot. Just finish him off. Duty completed. Oh, he was easier than the dungeon we just did. The dungeon was harder. The Midgar Storm dungeon was a lot harder than this. Let's do combination. Yeah, he was a good tank. Let's do Finder. Yeah, we just did that. That's it.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, Scions.
Oh, we're using
There
him?
will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No. No. Cannot. No.
There you go, I'll teach you a lesson.
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free.
Let's use the rod. Let's go.
Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
What are you doing?
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
That's literally what I just said. Are you copying me right now? I just said that.
Master Louisoix, I understand now. The choice you made in death. There is life. Farewell, Urianger. You daft old coot.
Oh no, she's gonna sacrifice herself. She's gonna go in the Aether current. Is that what's gonna happen? She's gonna give all her Aether to seal him.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Moonbreeder. She's gone. You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead.
Rest in peace.
This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Urianger know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Charlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. His sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hitherto the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Charlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Aether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Take a deep breath. Okay. Alright. Let's continue this. Never had a senior Angie so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in Charleon, mannered to celebrate Morbreda's life and mourn her passing. Let's get Quillian, I guess. Philia wishes to gather scions and honor the fallen Morbreda. As Morbreda was a native of Charleon, I feel it is only fitting that we gather before the mark of a scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? This monument found at the Radifsross. It is sacred to Taliak, guardian deity of the city of learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul and bid her peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. There it is.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser. But I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
said our farewells. The past sadness has dismissed, but for little, forgive me, as antecedent, 'tis my job to pillar the strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and to be lightly swept aside, do you not agree? This is one heck of a story quest so far. It is as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But it is a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisa, Brida, our fellows at the Waking Sand. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need reminding you of this, of course. It is for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again. There's no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost, to honor the fallen, the living forge everyone towards the light of a new day. Until has a request to make of you. Have you a moment? I believe Yida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since more Brida's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. I will speak to Yida then. Hey, Pelios, it's great. What? Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moen would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and well, this isn't one of them. I know, silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Sure, I can go collect it. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you, and the daisy at Waterforce. Alright, let's go. What can I do for you today? Adventure? Elder trinket to trade? No, just some flower payments. Here you go. Oh, they've got you running errands now. Some signs really know how to make the most of their talents, don't they? Send Saber Rosa to the Bleeding Market. Fine, use your time, that is. Just you best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking up the Chocobo stables next. Yeah, I'll go pick up the poo at the stables. Anyway, what was it that you were here to pick up? The Moon Daisy, was it? Here, then take it. And tell that Ida lass I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask she wears. Cause no, she needs to. Moon Daisy, the... Alright, gonna go over there. Alright, let's go. Hello, Yida. Oh, Rowan can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. When I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says again and again and again. It drives me crazy. Anyway, what I meant to say is I really appreciate you doing this for me. So anyway, let's see it. Or now, I love these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
What is this? Oh, the dragons. The dragons are attacking.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Now the dragons are attacking Ishgard. My apologies, Judge. I was deeply saddened to learn that Mogra's passing. Her loss won't be sorely felt. Last recent developments in Ishgard gives little time to mourn. The envoy from Curious will soon arrive and we must have haste and hear her report. Defenders Ishgard. After now awaits the arrival of the Ishgardian envoy. The envoy is here. I thank you for receiving me at such a short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantry, if I may. Certainly, you come with news of Dravanians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short while ago, and battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Amric himself sallied forth with contingent of the Temple Knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, if such it may be called, came at the cost of many of our own, too many. We will not withstand the second wave, should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, reality. It is reinforcements you seek, then? We do, though it pricks our pride. It is plain we cannot protect Ishgard of our ranks, thus tended by the Horde. Sir Amric would meet with you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Curtis at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braid is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Uldum must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close tie with all truly grand companies of Yorza. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I would gladly appear to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with yours and Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of the Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations, and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Amric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, the Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You face Magar's storm and survive. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Yes. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. It would seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive. Ooh, Iceheart is still here. Iceheart is still alive. How did Iceheart survive? Didn't she die with Shiva? Wait,
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken.
I thought Iceheart died with Shiva, right? Didn't she die alongside Shiva? Oh shit, she's back. She's not dead yet. She broke the barrier. Now the dragons can just
Brothers
swoop in.
and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Apparently Iceheart is still alive. Seems I was swifter than you two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make appearance. The murmurings of our camp tells of some matter of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, success we visit the place and find out what is afoot. Let's go, let's hurry up. Question the knights at the gate of judgment, yes. Alright, let's talk to the guards. Gates of Judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the uttermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. Here, our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. I lay mine upon my side. I felt a narrow freeze within my bones. Heretics come. How dare they meddle with our divine protection? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting down one by one. Yeah. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from vision. Water will be fine. Gates of Judgment. Alright. Alright, Alphino, are you ready? Time to protect Ishgard. It would seem the heretics struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Silence, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies, we chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Yes. I'm eager to return to camp. Yeah, let's go. Lady Iceheart has grown bold, indeed. If she would risk direct action against the city, come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Hartrefalt will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. Tis refreshing indeed to behold the countenance of a friend when holding man's teeter upon the rear brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your hurt presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. But you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived and would treat you with intercessory. Alright? Speak with them, recommended intercessory. Alright, let's go. Shall I show you inside? Yes. Hello, Lord Emmerich. I thank you for coming with such haste. I apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. In those circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Amphenol, I think it's more important than ever to make this meeting place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post in Ishgard walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and a stalwart ally, Estinian. I present you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of the lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragoons, and may thus contend with any Dravanian. You flatter me much, Lord Commander. So you are the adventurer to whom they spoke. I see. Now, why, my blood fair sang in anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captives after their assault on the gates. It would seem that Lady Iceheart and Dravanians share a common role, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great wyverns. His name features prominently in our nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Eldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Korea since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars on our walls bear Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Hodder plucked from the wrist of Vern's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of its strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son has waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded by all times by men who have proven their loyalty to Holsey. But though shelled walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics, the dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Gervanian horde, whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength, though the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. And that is especially true of the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber, only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies, 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Ishgard is in league with the creature, then? Well, that we cannot be certain, though we know the heretics covet the eye. We have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs to address the ragged hold her mistress had seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protection. This weakness of the Gervanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem, you have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why are such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for their coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Gervania. When the Azure Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance in Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Durania. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Cortias would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until Garlean's arrival, that is, for it may be certain the Empire would not hesitate to claim Cortias. It would not even have to draw steel. An Imperial Promising border with Mordona, 7 hells. I am very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Oriza will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde. Nor did I ever think you would. Now open the matter of the war. Tell me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the Eye, I have become vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into me my very blood. Fear not, I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the Eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wherever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg. Aye, he means to hurl his horde against Jaffin's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Though the circumstances care for Ardeal, his desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Yorza together in common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? The Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders. I suspect his softening of the Holy Sea's attitudes towards foreign cooperation comes as something of a bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Nothing was ready to begin making preparations yet. Let's go. If we have to aid Ishgard's preparation will have to be made soon. Before proceeding ever, we must return to the Rising Stone. Alright, let's go. Well, I'll stop here for tonight. Next time we'll continue and we'll go defend Ishgard from the incoming Dravanians. So we'll see you guys next time on Final Fantasy XIV Online, A Realm Reborn. Let's go next time.